And Starks has a dozen.
Put it back in his hands and ride him.
They go that high screen and roll.
McKee poking at it, can't get it away from Starks. Mills, cross court to Childs. Chris Childs, whistle before the release. 3-second violation, negating the basket.
Chris Childs has got to jump up and shoot that ball rather than to try to dribble penetrate. He had two guys waiting for the offensive rebounds, and he got them a violation because he didn't take the shot that presented itself.
Here is Best. Johnson on McKee. 4 seconds to shoot. McKee with a force. No. Cummings finally has it. Again, the Knicks can reclaim the lead. Johnson on the run. Swatted away. A foul. The Knicks think it should be goaltending on top of it. They don't get it, though.
So Johnson catches McKee off balance, and he's able to wheel. And Davis, I think that's a good block. I think the official made the right call. He catches it right on the way up. It's right there. That's a good block. When you look at Davis, he has the ability to jump really high.
The foul is on McKee, his fourth. Sometimes when you're injured and maybe half a step slow, you tend to foul more. You get beaten, you reach in. And McKee goes out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bob, but Derek McKee has not been himself today. You saw it in the last possession offensively where he tried to make a play and was bumped off of it. He does not have his legs. And this is not the Derek McKee that we saw in the first two games.
In playoff time, when you're injured, if an injured player is out on the floor, you as an offensive player, in your mind, you're thinking, every time I get the basketball, I'm going to take him until the coach takes him out of the game.
Johnson gives New York the lead. Rose to the front court. Jackson back in along with Miller, and Rose with what could be called, if this were tennis, an unforced error at a bad time.
Jalen Rose has got to be careful now. 2 times in a row he's tried to do a little bit too much with the basketball. Isaiah, I think he needs to get foul line and under, come out, catch the ball, and then make his play rather than try to take it length of the floor.
Childs playing important minutes. Really redeeming himself here in Game 3. Here is Starks, bumped by Miller.
You know, not to defend Charlie Ward in any way, but I think that the group that Charlie Ward played today was not a good group. It was not going to be a team that would bring out the best in each other. Chris Childs has been very fortunate. The team that he's played with today has played very well, and he's been the leader of that group, so you got to give him a lot of credit.
See again, Cummings with contact on Miller, a Knick foul.
Reggie Miller, when he feels the contact, he throws his body in such a way that the official thinks that he just got murdered. Watch, Terry Cummings, he'll chase him off.
But he puts up a neon sign. He throws his arm out there like that. When you do that, you're calling attention like, I just fouled.
Billy Crystal's at courtside. He's awarding Reggie Miller an Academy Award. Here's Rose, knocked away.
When will Patrick Ewing be back, and how long will it take for him to get warmed back up again?
See, I thought when they had Derek McKee in the game, Patrick Ewing should have been in, and they could have kept going to him. Now when he comes back, he's going to be guarded by a Smith or a Davis.
Rose, in and out. And a rebounding foul. It's on Smith, I think. And that is his 5th. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Man for the Knicks in the 4th quarter has 12 points and is shooting 5 for 12. And when he gets rolling, he gets into his zone. You see him square up right here for the nice 3-point shot. Notice the rotation and the step back on the basketball. Starks is really playing well, and New York has to ride him throughout these last 6 minutes.
Crowd really into it as Childs brings it across. It's in Starks' hands. and then his pass is knocked out.
So you got to put Starks on the baseline and let him come off some screens. You can't put him in screen and roll because they're trapping him on the screen and roll.
Larry Johnson trying to muscle up in a crowd and loses it. Mullen back to Jackson.
And with Jalen Rose making about 2 bad plays and having a couple turnovers, Chris Mullen into the game.
Here's Ewing off the bench and ready to check in. Mullen, Reggie, hold on. Tommy Nunez whistles a foul. And it's on Starks. His second. Patrick comes back.
Now with Patrick coming back, the question, with he and Allen Houston coming back into the game, the question that you have to ask yourself, do they have enough offensive rhythm? With 6 minutes to go in the game, how long is it going to take Patrick to get back to where he was in the third quarter?
Well, 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go for the Knicks. Either have hope for tomorrow or be buried for the season. This 6-11 will dictate if they have any chance of winning this series.
Antonio Davis from Mullen. Now he finds Smith. Mullen wide open. Misses the three. Patrick against Smith on the run. And a foul. And if it's on Smith, he's finished. Goodbye. With 5:44 left. Smith is gone. Antonio Davis played very well at center when Smith missed about a dozen games with sore feet late in the season. So Davis is going to get a lot of time in the pivot down the stretch here.
That play was made simply by the aggression of Patrick Ewing and the intelligence of him understanding that Rick Smith had 5 fouls. Consequently, put it on the floor, take it at him, and put him in a position where you're either going to let me score or you're going to foul me.
I think also really critical, New York has only committed 2 fouls. The little runner by Ewing, the 5th team foul by the Pacers. Now New York shoots free throws the rest of the game. With the Davis boys, you get better defense. But when you lose Smith, you allow Patrick Ewing to roam because you missed that little medium-range jump shot that he brings.
And what's even more important with Smith fouling out is now Patrick Ewing has size over Davis and Davis. So defensively, he should be able to clean up on the board.
Reggie Miller had it halfway down, and it spun out on him. That could have tied it. Childs. New York by 5.
With critical turnovers in game 2. Look what he is today, plus 27. He's been the difference. A little secondary break, Ewing with the screen. Childs pulls up, buries the open jump shot, and when he goes to the bench, he gets a welcome return from his teammates.
Doug, I think Childs has been so concerned about his defense that his offense has lacked. But today he's been able to put together both sides of the equation with his offense and his defense.
He's 4 of 5 from the floor, 8 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, only 2 turnovers. Finally, after a long stint on the bench, Houston is back in. Jackson trying to bounce it through a crowd, but a 3-second violation. That's one of the risks. When you pound it into the floor that long, one of the risks that somebody will linger too long in the paint.
Well, Bob, what you also have, too, is as Mark Jackson is backing down, instead of having Rick Smith for the 15-footer, they have one of the Davis boys. So the big guys can go back and help, and Ewing is back there to block a shot. I think that Indiana has to be very careful about going to that too much.
Bill got the corner of Mark Jackson's eye. He looked and he saw Patrick Ewing standing there, and that made him hesitate.
Ewing high post. Looking to work into